Today's event is Dangerous Driving, Drunk, Drugged, Drowsy, and Distracted. The event came about several years ago when several of us who planned this event today attended a dangerous driving conference held by the Long Island Youth Safety Coalition in Nassau County, and it was held at Hofstra. And the story we heard then was so compelling. The workshops were so informative, and we felt that there are no boundaries between Suffolk and Nassau County, and felt that this was an important topic to bring to Suffolk County.
This event and others like it are tremendously important to get the message out and remind people, whether you are personally involved or know people involved or have an impact on laws, how critical it is to change behaviors, and how traumatic it can be to families and people when wrong choices are made and when dangerous choices are made.
I had gotten involved with the Dangerous Driving Conference due to the fact that my father was killed by a distracted driver.
A group of prevention agencies and individuals felt that this is an extremely important topic for all of us, whether we're parents, students, community members in any capacity, law enforcement, legislators, elected officials. It's important for all of us.
I wanted to attend the Distracted Driving Conference because I am the SAD coordinator, and this is what SAD is very into. Texting and driving, trying to prevent accidents besides drinking and driving.
The importance of safe driving on our roadways is paramount.
Today's event on distracted driving, I was requested to do a presentation on the distractions of driving, but more importantly, how to identify motorists that are under the influence of drugs other than alcohol.
The keynote speakers were very wonderful, very emotional. They really tugged at our heartstrings because both women had lost somebody that they loved. One was a father and the other one was the daughter of the other lady, and both under different circumstances.
On November 24th, 2009, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. We actually had plans to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade 2 days later. We were driving to a music lesson in downtown Smithtown, very routine for us. We went there twice a week. We parked across the street from the store, and as Courtney was crossing the street, she was struck by an SUV that came out of nowhere. It hit her and kept driving, and she was thrown over 50 feet and landed under a parked car. She was taken to the hospital, but we did lose her that night. And later we learned that the driver was a 20-year-old girl who had sped recklessly through downtown Smithtown, driving over 60 miles an hour, twice the speed limit, high on heroin, on a suspended driver's license, and with a history of drug abuse.
My father was a highway maintenance worker for the New York State Department of Transportation, and on St. Patrick's Day of 2006, him and his crew were out there filling in potholes, and a cement truck driver had entered into the work zone. Not only was he speeding, he was just drinking a bottle of water, and the bottle of water had slipped from his hands, so he reached down to pick it up. But because he reached down to pick it up, not only did he take his eyes off the road, but he pulled the steering wheel down with him, causing him to veer the truck into the work zone, where he hit and killed my father.
Listening to the keynote speakers in the morning, it was gut-wrenching to listen to the horrific stories that they had.
Very emotional. I cried along with both these women.
It's every day that she will not be part of our lives, and we have to find a new normal. We'll never have the normal that we had before. We'll never have the family that we thought we would have before. She's still with us, she's still in our hearts, but it's a different normal.
Now I go visit my father on the side of the highway. No one should ever have to visit their loved one on the side of the highway because of somebody they lost that was so preventable, so preventable.
Karen and Lavina's stories were most impacting on a personal level for me. Again, I have a 28-year-old and a 25-year-old. who drive on the roadways. I also have a dad, and so it makes it real. Those relationships make it real, make these stories real.
We also like to say that these incidents are not accidents. They're preventable. We call them crashes. When I speak with Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, we try to stress this, that they're not accidents. An accident could happen to anybody on a daily basis. These people made the choice to drive drunk or do an illegal substance. Prescription pills, they are becoming an enormous problem, and many individuals are abusing them and electing to operate a vehicle unsafely.
According to statistics, our teens are dying. Ages 16 to 20, they have the highest fatality rate in the nation. 5,500 teens are killed each year, and 16 lives are lost each day due to teen driving crashes, and this is what has to stop.
I think if people remember what an awesome responsibility it is to be able to drive a car, and the responsibility they have to be a little bit more careful, drive a little bit more slower sometimes when it's wet or dark, or certainly if there are people around. Be a little bit more aware. I think if everybody individually does that, then collectively as a society, we will change the rate of deaths and injuries from these kinds of tragedies. But it's something that everybody has to do and think about. So spreading the message, I think, is one of the most important things to try to prevent this from happening to other families.
The information that I got from this conference, I definitely put out to all the SAD advisors in Suffolk County for them to be aware of it and to relay this message to their participants in the club.
We would like the attendees, it's been a pretty diverse group that has attended. We have law enforcement, we have parents, we have coalition leadership, we have prevention, we have treatment specialists here. So it's a very eclectic group. And what we would like everyone to leave with was certainly awareness, a greater awareness, increased knowledge so that one could perform their duties and their jobs with greater ability. And also, there was an affective component. We want to drive this home. We want people not only to read the statistics, see the statistics, hear them, but we want them to see what can happen on a very personal level to a family.